I am on a personal journey to heal my inner artist. Today is my artist date and I'm painting. Recently, I've been enjoying coloring and painting and I've been buying myself fun things. So this is my cute little paint kit that I got, and I got a bunch of brushes and I got water, and this is my artwork. It's very vulnerable of me to show you guys, but that's my artwork. I did that. And I'm not finished with it because I decide that I'm not finished with it. Yet, in order for me to reach that stage, let me just tell y'all what happened. So today for the artist date, I wanted to follow a Bob Ross video, yet Bob Ross videos are very long and I didn't want to watch that long of a video. So I watched somebody who did a Bob Ross painting in about 20 seconds and I just replicated what I saw. I knew I didn't have the right tools, but I was like, it's basically hills, some trees, water, basic things. So I just looked at it and did my best to replicate it. Now, this looks very similar to the painting, but it doesn't look anything like it. Like, this is so my art. And I took an hour and a half to do this painting because I was like trying to figure out what tools to use. I was taking my time, all types of things. And when I finished about 30 minutes ago, I looked at it and I was like, I did that. And then somewhere in me, I was like, yeah, but I don't really like it. Like, it's not the quality that I would want to show off, right? And when I thought that to myself, I was like, that's very honest. If I'm just gonna listen to myself, that's very honest. I took an hour and a half to paint, and this is what happened, right? I'm not at fault for my painting not being the best high quality, and instead of me ignoring myself and how I feel about the artwork and the fact that I do potentially want to show it to people, right? Or I know that people may see it because I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I decided, let's take a break, and then you can continue to paint on the same masterpiece. And that just changed everything for me. I hadn't even realized that I have been limiting my artist by allowing her only this much amount of time to complete something, this much amount of time to be great at something, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I do really good things in a short amount of time more often than not. Yet, that doesn't mean that that's how I'm supposed to create everything. That's not how I'm supposed to create everything. Certain things do require more time from me in order for me to see the results that I want to see, right? I spent an hour and a half on this. What if I spent an entire day pouring into this artwork, pouring into this artwork, pouring into this artwork, and then I looked at it again? I promise you it wouldn't look like this. I promise you it would look better. It would improve because I would have poured so much time, so much attention to the details, and I would have went back and I would have refined and focused in and blew up different parts. And, there were so many smudges above. I did an hour and a half. I took a break and then I came back and added an extra half an hour work. So now this is 2 hours of work, right? I went in and I colored in my clouds to make them more pigmented because they weren't as pigmented and I didn't like that, right? The first time I did it, I had thought that I made it pigmented enough, but yet when it dried down, it wasn't, showing enough. And then this tree, I'm still working on this tree. I'm not in love with it, but I'm like, I see what you're trying to do. but I know I'm missing something. So it's like, the more I focus on the tree, the better. The mountains, I don't hate the mountains, but like I want to clean up the peaks of it and make it like, I don't know, like have more texture. Like there's more that I see that I can give to this. This isn't all of me. This is less than 2 hours of me just doing. Because as I was doing it, I was following somebody else, right? Yet, as I finished after that time, I'm not done. So my message is, give yourself time. As much time as you need to finish what you start. Okay? And if you are an artist, just keep going. That's all I feel. When I first finished, right, I was like, I don't really like this. But now that I fixed the clouds and I'm, that part is fixed, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to like this more. Because I'm like really liking the clouds. I'm liking the water. I'm liking the sky. I'm liking the mountains. I just need to tweak. My next focus may be the mountains. Now that I've shown you guys this project, I am going to consciously work on the same picture, probably for the next week, and just put an hour a day into this picture to make it cleaner, more refined, more of what, artists who are selling their art do, right? Literally, when I first finished this art, I thought, okay, like I'm done, I'm tired, that's all the time I want to put into this art piece, I guess that's it. And when I looked at it, I was like, I'm not really in love with it, but I claim it because I did it. And then I was like, you can add to it. You could go back and fix it. You could work on it more if you just decide to do that. And you could turn it from something that you don't really like into something that you absolutely love. And when I started thinking like that, I started thinking about the people who show their art. And there are some people who say, this has taken me 76 hours. And then they'll flip their art and it's so beautiful, right? And then there's people who say, this has taken me a year to make. And they'll show you the art and it's so beautiful. And everybody's just so quick to be like, oh my God, you're a magnificent artist. Da, da, da. And it's like, I wonder if you guys realize that day one, it didn't look like how they're showing you. Which is why you have to listen to the amount of time that they poured in. My point is, give yourself, as the masterpiece that you are, time to become the masterpiece that you can see with your eyes. In order for that to happen, you have to take intentional time, just like art, right? I put an hour into this piece of paper, 2 hours into this piece of paper. There is a difference between me putting 2 hours into something and me putting 70 hours into something and me putting 150 hours into something. There's no limit on the amount of time that you can put to yourself or creating the vision that you have in your mind.